The Obamacare screw-ups pose an enormous dilemma for President Obama. He's got two things pulling him in opposite directions. One is the cancellations and the outrage that they're causing in view of his commitment not to do them. And the other is the very terrible, pathetic enrollment level in Obamacare. And they're pulling in opposite directions. The cancellations are a political disaster for him. He promised there would be none. He promised you could keep your health insurance. And at least 10 to 15 million people have already or are in the process of receiving cancellation notices. I just spoke to a cancer patient who got one the other day. And at the same time, there's a very good likelihood, in fact, a certainty, that as 2014 unfolds, another 30 or 40 million people are going to lose their insurance. Most people who have small employer plans, and some of those who have big employer plans, are going to find that they're not grandfathered in and that they're going to lose them. And in addition, most people, or pretty much everybody, who has a plan with a big employer is going to see an important premium increase. So this is coming down the pike, and Obama has to deal with it, and it's a terrible situation. On the other hand, the enrollment in Obamacare has been pathetic. So far, 5 people have signed up in Washington, D.C. One lonely person, signed up in Delaware. And by the way, the IRS spent the last 3 days decommissioning the site because they're using the computer time to enforce, to make sure people aren't getting subsidies they're not entitled to. They're coming down on that one guy in Delaware like a ton of bricks. 15,000 IRS agents dedicated to preventing the subsidization of about 100 people that have signed up for the program. So what does Obama do now? He's coming under enormous pressure from Democrats to stop the cancellations. Already 5 Democratic senators have called for an end to the cancellation and are backing a Republican bill to stop the cancellations that'll obviously pass the House and could attract a majority in the Senate. On the other hand, if he stops the cancellations, nobody's enrolling in Obamacare. Everybody's quite happy with the insurance they have, looks at the stuff on the website and runs screaming, and doesn't want to move over to Obamacare. The only way that he's going to be able to generate a non-embarrassing total for Obamacare is to throw people off their current policies so they have no choice but to enroll in Obamacare. So he's damned if he does and he's damned if he doesn't. It's a ridiculous political dilemma to be in, entirely caused by the horrific nature of the design of this program. My own bet is that he's going to have to take the hit over the low enrollment figures and stop the cancellations. I just do not believe he can go into an election year canceling the insurance policies of 50 million people. The average congressman will come to him and say, "Hey, Mr. Obama, that's 100,000 people in my House district. And you expect me to get reelected or run for office doing that?" So I believe that he's going to have to stop the cancellations, and that's going to mean that virtually nobody will sign up for Obamacare. You might have fewer than 1 million people signing up for it. A lot will sign up for Medicaid, but very few for Obamacare, which means this whole administrative superstructure, all $2 billion of it, the whole death panel thing, the whole regulatory schema, the whole electronic medical records, all of that stuff will have been invented to administer a program for 1/3 of 1% of the United States population. I don't think he can survive that politically either. So it's going to be delightful to watch him try to crawl out of this mess he's made for himself. Thanks for watching.